What's going on, guys? So in this video we just got a Final Fantasy XIV live letter number 80. In this live letter they kind of went over some mostly the graphical updates coming, some new blacklist features, and then they go on at the very end to detail some of the events that are going to be popping up from now up until Dawntrail launches. So I'm going to go over everything in this video and kind of give you a brief summary on what all's changing. And there's some actually really cool things with the graphical update that looks really good actually. Before I didn't really see it. Now it makes sense, and it looks like there's actually a big difference, it looks like. So let's get into this right here. First, the graphics updates. It says in patch 7.0, when Dawntrail expansion arrives, new areas will take full advantage of the updated graphics, and older areas have been updated as well. The team showed side-by-side footage, which we'll get into here in a second, on what it appears in patch 6.58 and how it will look in 7.0 when Dawntrail launches. So we'll go through here. Character models have been improved to reflect shiny and smooth skin. They look actually really good. Wet surfaces now have more sharp and reflective appearance. Shadows look better. It's like here's some clips. This is where we are at the moment, which I never really noticed that it was that blurry. Like, it actually does not look good. But now look at the rock difference and the grass and everything. Like, that's a huge difference. Before I didn't really see it, but it looks like it's a big difference. Big difference. Like, some of these shots are just wild. Like, it's so blurry, you know, and it's just like, I guess the fidelity, if I don't know what it's called, but it just doesn't look great. Look at the stones. It blows me away. I never really noticed it before, but it's a huge improvement as to what it was previously. Like, look at the character model, like kind of blurry and dull. I guess the colors are dull. And in the new update in 7.0, like, look, it looks like shiny, and it looks so much better. There's a few more of these clips here. Yeah, it's just so much. It looks so good. So we have that as far as the graphical updates. I think that's a massive improvement. The only thing with this is it says here last generation consoles won't get every feature in the graphical update. Obviously, this is talking about PS4. The super sampling will be reduced to lower the stress on the console, and resolution and LOD on distant objects will be forcibly enabled. And on the Xbox Series S version, LOD for shadows will be forcibly enabled for the same reason. So these consoles, you know, aren't able to keep up, unfortunately. So I mean, it'll look a little bit better, but you know, not nearly as good as this PC and PS5 and the Xbox Series X version, I assume. So here's some more. You got some more things here. These are like settings he was showing during the live letter. Water, like, it just, everything looks so crisp and clear. And we got you know, a better look here at Tyrol, which is cool. Look at the little aetherites. But yeah, so that's like all the graphic update stuff, which is big massive improvement, way more than when they showed, I think when they announced some of the Dawntrail stuff. Like, the graphical update didn't, like, I was like, what, really? It's a shadow under a chin or whatever. But now it's like, I see it, and it makes sense on what needs to be done. So the next thing that they talked about was the blacklist. Dawntrail will also feature new features for the blacklist. Currently, messages from blacklisted characters are hidden, but the update will now hide their character model as well. So any character that you have blacklisted, these will be hidden throughout the whole game. That you won't be able to enter your free company or your estate anymore, I believe. Also, you will see if you end up joining a duty or a party finder with them on off chance, you'll still see them in the duty, but it'll just say their name and everything will be unknown. It'll say unknown, and then it'll give you an option to when they do type in the chat, it'll give you an option if you want to see it temporarily. So it's still blocked, and you have an option to see it, which is pretty cool. A mute list has also been added where you can mute characters' messages. It automatically applies to characters blacklisted prior to 7.0, and the mute list applies to all characters on individual service account. Muted characters will display as normal, and like blacklisted characters, you can use a subcommand to temporarily see what they've written if you're a party together in a duty. So muted characters, muted lists is pretty much works the same as blacklist. All of your currently blacklisted characters will be carried forward, and there's a maximum of 200 per character that can be registered. The data is stored server side, so if you play the game on another platform, they will remain blacklisted no matter where you play. However, The names will display only on playing on the device that they are registered on, as the character names are saved client-side. Up to 200 characters can be registered to the mute list, which is separate than the blacklist. Data is stored client-side, so if you move to another platform, this will not be shared. A term filter has been added, which will filter out messages based on terms you specify. It also applies to say, tell, yell, shout, and emotes in certain circumstances, including duties. However, it won't apply to link shells, cross-world link shells, party, or free company chat. The term filter data is stored client-side, so it will not travel with you if you move on to another platform, similar to the blacklist and muted list. An estate expulsion feature will be added so that characters can be added to a no-entry list in your estate grounds and will be expelled from it immediately. When added to the no-entry list, they will be unable to enter for 10 days. This applies to all characters that are expelled character service account. Free company masters and estate owners have access to this function. Free company masters and estate owners can designate up to 4 members or housemates to have access to this function as well. When players with expulsion privileges are in the estate, anyone registered to their blacklist will automatically be expelled when attempting to enter the estate grounds. And the lodestone will also grant greater control over privacy settings. You can limit who can view certain aspects of your lodestone character page, such as your profile, achievements, and friends. Visibility settings can be limited to friends, free company members, link shell members, etc. You can also remove yourself from the lodestone character searches. A block list will be available for the lodestone where notifications regarding the activity or blog entries of blocked players will no longer display. Blocked players will be unable to see your activity, and the above settings will also apply to characters added to your in-game blacklist. And then finally, we get a massive list here of things that's going to be going on from April 24th up to Dawntrell's launch in July 2nd. So our next event in 10 days, as of recording of this video, we have a Yokai Watch collaboration event, which will include, I believe, a new mount, if I remember correctly, and a minion and some other small things like that. Then the Final Fantasy XVI event ends on the 8th of May. 14th and 15th of May, we got the Moogle Treasure Trove, and then Make It Rain campaign seasonal event begins. Here's when things get saucy. On May 15th, the Dawntrell Media Tour begins. So this we'll start getting loads of new information, hopefully, from Dawntrell. And then the day after that, the Letter from the Bruiser 81 will air, focused on job updates for the expansion. So in this latest expansion, this is mostly focused on the blacklist and the graphical update. Our next one, in literally about a month from now, will focus on job updates. So then we can start seeing more stuff from the Viper, from the Pictomancer, and all that stuff, which is super exciting. That's what everybody wants. We want to see some more of the job stuff. And then on the 30th, the Dawntrell Media Tour ends. We got the Make It Rain campaign seasonal event. Dragon Quest X collaboration event returns, which is cool. Then the next month we have Letter from the Live Producer number 82. Then we start to see all the events end. So June 20th, the Dragon Quest X collaboration event ends. Then 4 days later, the Moogle Treasure Trove event ends. The Yokai Watch event ends on the 26th. Then from the 26th to the 28th, a 48-hour maintenance session is scheduled to allow all players to fully download large files coming with the expansion. And then right after this is done, those who pre-order the game, Dawntrell, or the expansion, early access begins, available to those who pre-order the expansion. So we are just about 2.5 months out from Dawntrell, which is crazy to think. So those are all the events. I'm super excited for the Final Fantasy, or the Dragon Quest X event. I'm super interested as to what that is and how that's gonna, because I've missed this before. I think I didn't know the Dragon Quest X had a collaboration event. So okay, I just looked at this event, and I have done this before. I didn't even know. Those of you who have not done it, you do get a headgear, the Thug's mug, and then you get a slime or king slime crown, which is pretty cool, and it bounces as you walk, which is cool. And then you get the wind up brickman, which I'm pretty sure I have that. So this event is, that's coming back. So those of you who don't have the stuff, you can get that. Some other cool little neat stats that they showed during the event was that majority of the players that are playing currently in the game started playing during Shadowbringers, which is really interesting. And then you got 26% with The Realm Reborn, and then 13 and 13 for Heavensward and Endwalker, and then 14 for Stormblood. So most people started playing during Shadowbringers and The Realm Reborn. That's pretty cool. Then we see our favorite mounts and all the favorite mounts in the game. The company Chocobo, obviously, probably because it's the most accessible one. The Starbird is the #1 minion, or favorite minion. Favorite home point, literally, who would have guessed? Limsa Lomensa. Like, dude, everybody's here. This is a place to be. It's always popping. Always music being played too. Most formidable foe, Hades. That was my favorite boss, I think, in the game so far. And then they showed up some like merchandise and stuff. So there's like a little plate here. Design plates. They have photo books in Japan. Whoops. The one thing that I thought was really cool out of this whole, out of like the stuff they're showing, was the Heidelin and Zodiac thing. This is really cool. That's super sick. So there's that. And then if you are in Japan, they have a planetarium show. So that's sick. So if you're in Japan, go check that out, because I bet that's going to be sick. But that is everything for live letter number 80. If you are excited, let me know down below what you hope to see in the next one. Like what job changes are you wanting to see with the Viper or the Pictomancer, or even current jobs? Because obviously I think we'll be getting new abilities and skills for all of our previous jobs. They're going to level 100 and stuff. So let me know what you're hoping to see in that. And if you're new here, be sure to like and subscribe for more Final Fantasy 14 and 7 and just any Final Fantasy content. I mostly cover Remake, Rebirth, and 14 at the moment, and then whatever else comes out later on. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.